All right, listeners, ready to dive into something interesting. Today, we're taking a look at this sales page that someone sent us, and honestly, it's got me scratching my head a little bit.
Oh, lay it on me. What kind of promises are we talking about here?
It's for something called 50,000 plus ChatGPT Prompts, the ultimate ChatGPT prompt library. They claim these prompts will turn you into like the ultimate assistant, able to do everything.
Everything. Okay, I'm intrigued. But 50,000 prompts.
50,000. Write novels, fix cars, you name it.
Sounds a little too good to be true, right? I mean, how can you even wrap your head around that many prompts?
That's what we're going to find out. Are we looking at a hidden gold mine here or just a whole lot of digital clutter?
Let's dig in and see.
But before we get too far, I think it's worth a quick refresher for anyone who might be new to this whole ChatGPT world. What are these prompts and why should we care about them?
Good point. Not everyone's up to speed on the latest AI lingo, right? So think of a ChatGPT prompt like you're giving instructions to this super smart AI assistant. You're basically telling it what you want it to do.
So it's like, hey, ChatGPT, I need a poem about a cat riding a unicycle. Or help me analyze this data set, something like that.
Exactly. The clearer your instructions, the better the results. And that's where these prompts come in. They're pre-written instructions designed to get specific outcomes from ChatGPT.
Okay, so the quality of the prompt equals the quality of the results you get back af. Makes sense.
Yeah.
But back to this library. I mean, 50,000 prompts is a lot. Can you even imagine trying to use that many?
It's mind-boggling, isn't it? I mean, at a certain point, wouldn't it be overwhelming? Like having a giant cookbook but no idea where to start?
I see what you mean. Too many choices can be paralyzing. You could spend all your time just searching for the right prompt instead of actually creating anything.
Exactly. It's quality over quantity, right?
Right. So let's look at some of the categories they're promoting here. We've got the usual suspects, like content creation marketing, but then there are some that are a little out there, AI-assisted doctor, biblical translator, even a rapper prompt category.
Now, those are some interesting applications, to say the least.
Yeah, an AI rapper. I'm not sure about that one. But it does raise some questions about the boundaries of AI. Where does a helpful tool end and replacing human judgment begin?
It's a slippery slope for sure. There's definitely potential for AI in these fields, but there are also limitations. We can't forget the importance of human expertise and ethics, especially when it comes to things like healthcare or interpreting religious texts.
Definitely. I mean, an AI might be able to help a doctor with research, maybe summarize some medical articles, but I wouldn't want it making life or death decisions.
Right, and a rapper AI. I'm not sure it could ever truly capture the nuances of human emotion and experience, the things that make music truly great.
It's like, can AI really replicate the soul of a song?
Exactly.
Okay, so we've got 50,000 prompts covering everything from writing emails to potentially replacing doctors. What else caught your eye about this sales page?
Well, the sales tactics they're using are pretty interesting.
Oh yeah, it's all limited to 50 sales only, a countdown timer ticking away, and warnings about missing out on some once-in-a-lifetime deal.
Classic pressure tactics, right?
Definitely designed to make you feel like you have to act now or you'll regret it forever.
Exactly. It's all about creating a sense of urgency, even if there isn't any real reason to rush.
And then there's the bonus bonanza they're throwing in on top of the 50,000 prompts. We're talking ChatGPT mastery videos, Instagram follower guides, Canva templates, even a digital marketing course, and professional softwares, Adobe in quotation marks.
Wow, they're really pulling out all the stops.
Look, are they trying to distract us with all these shiny objects so we don't look too closely at the actual product?
It makes you wonder, right? Are these bonuses truly valuable, or are they just noise designed to cloud our judgment?
I mean, some of them could be helpful, but it's important to remember what we're really here for, those 50,000 prompts.
Right. We need to see if they actually live up to the hype.
So we've got our work cut out for us. We need to wade through the marketing, ignore the flashing lights, and figure out if these 50,000 prompts are actually worth the investment.
We'll have to take a deep dive and see what we find. So we've got these 50,000 prompts, right? But are there any downsides to using pre-made prompts, like potential pitfalls we should watch out for?
Yeah, it's a good question. It
Yeah.
sounds amazing to have all these prompts at your fingertips, but could there be a downside to that? I mean, is there such a thing as too much of a good thing?
Well, you have to consider the quality. I mean, just because there are a lot of prompts doesn't mean they're all good quality.
So it's like buying a huge bag of trail mix and hoping it's all cashews, but when you open it, it's mostly peanuts and raisins.
Haha, yeah, exactly. You might find some real gems in there, but you'll probably have to dig through a lot of filler to find them.
That makes sense. So quality over quantity when it comes to prompts.
Definitely. And another thing to think about is becoming too reliant on these pre-made prompts.
Oh, I see what you mean. You might get so used to just using what's already there that you stop thinking for yourself.
Right. It could stifle your own creativity. Learning to craft your own prompts can be really valuable.
It's like relying on a GPS for every single trip. Eventually, you forget how to read a map, right?
Exactly. Learning to create your own prompts is like learning the language of AI.
So you become more fluent in how to communicate with it.
Exactly.
But I have to admit, sometimes those pre-made prompts can be a lifesaver, especially when I'm feeling stuck or just need a quick solution.
Oh, absolutely. There's definitely a time and place for them. They can be great for getting started, trying out different approaches, or sparking new ideas.
And sometimes you just need a very specific prompt to get a particular result. Like if you're trying to write a poem in iambic pentameter or generate code in a specific programming language.
Right. Even then, though, it's important to remember that context matters. You can't just throw any prompt at ChatGPT and expect amazing results.
It's like working with an assistant. You need to give them clear instructions and guidance if you want them to do a good job.
Exactly. ChatGPT is a powerful tool, but it needs direction.
So how do you know if a prompt library like this one is actually worth the investment? What should people be looking for?
Well, first and foremost, look at the quality of the prompts. Are they well written, specific, and likely to generate useful outputs?
So it's like checking the ingredients list on that trail mix before you buy it, making sure it's not all just filler.
Exactly. And then you want to see how the library is organized. Is it easy to find what you need? Are the prompts well categorized? Do they have a good search function?
Yeah, no one wants to scroll through 50,000 prompts just to find the one they're looking for.
Definitely. And finally, don't forget to check the source's reputation. Look for reviews or testimonials from other users. Do they have a track record of producing good stuff?
So do your homework before you buy. It's like any other product, right?
Exactly. Especially in the world of AI, things are changing so fast, so it's important to be cautious.
Now, remember those wild job categories they were advertising? The AI-assisted doctor, the babysitter, the rapper.
Hmm.
What are your thoughts on that? Is there any truth to those claims, or is it just hype?
Well, it's definitely interesting to think about. I think AI has potential in a lot of different fields, but I'm not sure about replacing doctors and babysitters just yet.
Yeah, AI could probably help with certain tasks, but I don't think it's ready to take over those jobs entirely.
Right. It's important to remember that AI is a tool, not a replacement for human expertise, especially when it comes to those kinds of roles.
So while we might see AI assisting doctors and babysitters in the future, I think human connection and empathy will always be essential in those professions.
Definitely. And as for the AI rapper, well, I'm not sure it could ever really capture the depth and the soul of human music. That raw emotion and experience.
Yeah, AI can mimic style and generate rhymes, but it's hard to imagine it writing a truly great song.
Right. There's something special about human creativity that's hard to replicate.
So as we explore all these possibilities with AI, it's important to be mindful of both its potential and its limitations.
Absolutely. We need to be thoughtful about how we integrate AI into our lives and make sure we're using it ethically and responsibly.
Okay, so we've talked about what prompts are, the potential pitfalls of pre-made libraries, and the wider implications of AI in different fields. What's next on the agenda?
Well, we've talked a lot about the product itself, but let's shift gears for a minute and talk about the marketing tactics they're using to sell it. All those limited time offers and countdown timers.
Yeah, and the mountain of bonuses.
Yeah,
It's almost like they're trying to overwhelm you with so much information that you just give in and buy it without thinking.
exactly. They're using what we call scarcity marketing. And it's really interesting to unpack the psychology behind why these tactics work.
It's definitely effective. I know I've fallen for it before.
Yeah.
You see a countdown timer and suddenly you feel like you're missing out if you don't buy right now.
It plays on our fear of missing out, our FOMO, as they say.
I guess we all have a little bit of that, don't we? So how do we protect ourselves from these tactics?
Well, the first step is awareness. Recognizing what they're doing is half the battle.
So we've got all these tactics they're throwing at us. The limited time offers the countdown timer, all those bonuses. It's like they're trying to overload your brain and make you click buy now before you've even had a chance to think.
Right. It's designed to tap into our emotions and bypass that logical part of our brain that says, hey, maybe we should slow down and think about this for a minute.
It definitely works, though I know I've felt that pull before. Like when you see a sign that says limited edition or only 2 left in stock, suddenly you're convinced you need it.
Exactly. It's called scarcity marketing. And it's incredibly effective because it plays on our deep-seated fear of missing out.
Oh, the dreaded FOMO. So how do we protect ourselves from falling for these traps? Because let's be real, we've all been there. You get caught up in the moment, and before you know it, you've bought something you don't even need.
The first step is recognizing it. Once you're aware of these tactics, you can start to see them for what they are. And then you can take a step back and ask yourself, do I really need this? Is this the best price? Am I being pressured into buying this?
So basically, don't let your emotions make the decision for you.
Right. And also, do your research. Before you buy anything, read reviews, compare prices, see what other people are saying, and don't be afraid to walk away if something feels wrong or too good to be true.
That's good advice. It's easy to get swept up in the marketing hype, but it's important to remember that we have the power to make our own choices.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Now, before we wrap up, I think it's worth circling back to something we talked about earlier, the idea of AI replacing human jobs. It's something that comes up a lot when we talk about artificial intelligence, and it's certainly relevant to our conversation about these prompts.
You're right. Some people might worry that these pre-made prompts will put writers and marketers and other creative professionals out of work.
Yeah, it's a valid concern, but I think it's important to remember that AI is still a tool, and its impact on the job market will depend on how we choose to use it. What if, instead of viewing AI as a threat, we saw it as an opportunity to enhance our own abilities and create new possibilities?
I like that perspective. It's not about humans versus machines. It's about humans working with machines.
Exactly. Imagine writers using AI to brainstorm ideas or overcome writer's block, or marketers leveraging AI to personalize their campaigns and reach wider audiences. The potential is huge.
This deep dive has been a real eye-opener. We started with a simple sales page for 50,000 ChatGPT prompts, and we ended up exploring everything from the psychology of marketing to the future of work. It's amazing to see how much ground we covered.
It's a testament to the power of AI, isn't it? Even something as seemingly simple as a collection of prompts can spark such a wide-ranging conversation.
So for our listeners who are feeling inspired to start their own AI adventures, what would be your parting advice?
I'd say don't be afraid to experiment. Explore different AI tools like ChatGPT, learn the basics of prompt engineering, and most importantly, bring your own creativity and critical thinking to the table. AI is a powerful tool, but it's up to us to use it wisely.
Well said. To all our listeners out there, stay curious, keep exploring, and remember the future of AI is in our hands.